That was Dizzy Rascal and Bonkers. And on the phone line now, I am so proud to announce, I'm a little bit scared to announce, Man Manson! Are you there?
No, I'm not here. This is Dizzy Rascal. I'm ringing to ask, why are you playing my terrible music on your brilliant station?
It seemed appropriate. It seemed like the right thing to do.
So I'm not the multi-talented Emmy winner that is Dizzy Rascal. I'm just me who wins absolutely nothing, not even a single match.
What? Yeah, I've seen you win matches.
No, you, sir, are a liar. I demand that you take that back. I win them morally. Important type of win.
Yeah, a moral victory is just as good as a pinfall in British wrestling.
It's even better. I get paid the same no matter what, so, it doesn't really bother too much to me. Or do I? I'll have to talk to Ben All about that, actually.
Yeah, talking about getting paid for British wrestling, I didn't think that was part of the deal. I thought that was...
I know, yes. So the funny thing is, some people would have you believe that way, but for some of us, it's a job. It's what we do for a living and to pay our mortgages. People like El Ligero, Sticks, T-Bone, there's a reason these guys are so good, and that's because if they don't wrestle, then they don't pay their way in life. So for some people would have you believe that they're doing it for the honour or the glory or the passion. There is no honour, there is no glory, there is no passion. There's only cold hard cash and turnbuckles, and that's about it.
Wow, you heard it here first, right here on HFM.
You heard it here first, and you hear it from me every day. I just usually shout it down the street, but no one knows what I'm talking about. So, at least you actually know what I'm talking about.
I'm with you. You mentioned talking about Ben Auld. We've got him on the show in about an hour's time.
Oh, good Lord. I implore every person to turn off their radio in an hour's time.
Don't say that.
Go for a long constitutional. Don't listen to the ramblings of that man-child, Ben Auld. No, I'm only kidding. He's a wonderful man. Yeah,
he's a top bloke, and he's got you at his 2-year anniversary show, which is a massive show coming up this month.
He does indeed. I've been working for Southside pretty much from the start when they started out. They're a fantastic place to work. Proper family show. You get there, and he has his wife putting up the posters.
Yep.
He has his son helping to set out chairs, and he sits there smoking a cigar, laughing at them. This is actual truth. This is what he does.
Yep, this is true. I've seen that.
You've seen it. We've all seen it. Ben Auld with a cigar. You heard it here first.
Brilliant. But you're facing an old foe at the new show, the Invisible Man.
Yes, I am.
And there's a promo of you doing the rounds where he gets the better of you.
My problems with the Invisible Man go back quite a long time. Back to 1PW, the wonderful place that is 1PW.
Now we know you're Man Manson.
I had a tete-a-tete with the Invisible Man before my match with Jamie Brum, which was, I think it was my first match in 1PW at the Dome, which is probably long since demolished, I don't know. But that dome-shaped place was home to me versus the Invisible Man, which was not only confusing, but also quite believable, I like to think.
Okay. So, your wrestling style, then?
Well, I'm clearly a gifted mat technician. I think
course.
It's pretty obvious that I am, as old-school mat technician as they come. Now, my style is pretty much whatever I feel like is going to entertain the people in the crowd. Simple as that. That's all there is to it for me.
There was been some wonderful moments. I was down at IPW in Kent the day of the trials.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched you wrestle. I can't remember the guy's name. I think El Eagle or something.
Yes, it was the masked Mexican Eagle.
That's him. And there was a wonderful point. I saw you walking around the crowd in your straitjacket, sat next to an old lady and terrified her, legitimately made her jump.
Yes, that's true. Me, of course, booked as a good guy. I'm there making old ladies. It just goes to show that I'm pretty much not very good at my job. But Dan Edler continues to book me because obviously he is a hopeless drunk of a man. That's the promoter of IPW. Excellent promoter, but hopeless drunk of a man. And that is why I like him.
Do you know what?
Supports Millwall. What an idiot.
True story. I tried to get him to come on this show as a guest, and he told me he couldn't do it because he was too drunk. True story.
But that's the truth. The truth is that he was too drunk. Another promoter might say to you, no, I'm too busy. I've got, meetings with Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. You don't have meetings with Hulk Hogan. That's not true. You have a meeting with El Ligero in the services on the M5.
Meeting with Stella Artois.
Exactly. That's a bit impressive as it gets. But Edler, he is a hopeless drunk. And he loves Harchester United, dream team. So I respect him for that. I don't respect him as a man. As a man, he's a hideous chud of a person. But for some reason, we get on. Don't know why.
No, he's obviously got a soft spot for you.
That's it. We both have soft spots for each other, but that's a medical problem that we're trying to get fixed.
Is sharing a soft spot.
To be honest, family show.
All my life, you're the only wrestler I've seen who wrestles without boots on.
Yes, what you should have done there is finished off the conversation with just, "You're the only wrestler I've seen," and then hung up. How good would that have been?
Ever.
It pretty much would have ruined the plan of your show, but yes, it would have been good. Yes, I think I may be one of the only people in England who work bootless. I think so. I'm not sure.
Is there
someone out there?
Is there any truth in the rumours this is because you've got some Samoan heritage in you?
None whatsoever. Look at my hair. Do I look like I have Samoan hair? Also, Samoans tend to be quite talented at wrestling. That's certainly not what I've got. Now, the real reason I don't wear boots is because I originally got some boots when I tried to be a real wrestler for a while.
Yeah.
That didn't quite work out.
And I've took them back.
Fell apart, so I decided to wear one at a time. You know, that sort of thing going on. Then the second one fell apart. And now I just don't bother with any boots because I'm incredibly lazy. Incredibly.
That can't be the reason. Is it? I think it's because you're not allowed shoelaces.
Oh, that would be true, actually. That would be true. You know, hanging out in an asylum all day. By asylum, I mean my 2-bedroom house in Mulvern. That's what, that's the truth behind the matter. You know, I guess you could call it an asylum. There's some strange people around this area, mainly T-Bone. But no, it's just because I'm an incredibly lazy man.
I don't buy any of that. I don't buy a single cent of that. And the straitjacket, who does your straight
merchandise? Boom! All right, there. That's how we do it. That's how we see. The whole thing just leads up to merchandise selling. That's all this is really about. All I do is sell pictures of Ligero. That's let's be honest.
Well, the thing is, we were talking about merchandise last week when we interviewed LJ Heron, and I'm trying to get him to get LJ Heron sweatbands.
Oh, nice.
So the heat's going to make you sweat.
He is an extremely sweaty man.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
There was a point. Have you heard about me and LJ Heron's hug at LCW?
Oh, good Lord, no. Is this something we shouldn't talk about?
It happened in front of about 200 people.
Oh, good. That's even worse. So did Pamela Anderson, but
I think more people will download that video than the one of me and Heron.
Well, I don't know. Not anymore. You know, time has ravaged her once youthful looks. Again, like LJ Heron in that respect.
Yeah, true. Actually, I'm trying to convince Heron to let me manage him. I should probably be nice to the bloke.
Oh, excellent. He should also come out dressed as a heron, I think.
Me?
And maybe all of us. Every single person on the show should come out dressed as a different avian wildlife. I think that'd be good. Represent British avian wildlife. I think that'll work quite well, actually.
It's possible.
On the get it booked, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got a sponsorship with the the Royal Society of Birds, anyway, down in Sandy.
No, let's go with NSPCC. Let's go with the protection of children. We'll dress up as birds. NSPCC will sponsor us. Everything's going to work out great. Trust me on this.
I can't see any plot holes in that whatsoever.
I can't see any problems. The less you think about it, the more money we're going to get in our coffers. So, let's just do this thing.
Is that just the golden rule in life? The less you think about it, the more money you can make.
Oh, absolutely. That is unquestionable. Do you think if Paris Hilton sat down and thought about her actual life, she would burst into tears? That is what would happen. But instead, she just goes on about her business and makes a load of money. Fantastic stuff.
This is an example to us all, isn't it? It really.
Paris Hilton most definitely an example to us all. I think we could all learn a thing or two from him, her, whatever. That's just a rumour that's been going around the internet. I can't corroborate that.
But you can't deny it either, though.
I can't deny it either. No, I've never met the lady, but also we've never been seen in the same place at the same time. So just putting it out there. If I was on Twitter, I'd probably hashtag something. But I'm not, so I won't.
Are you not onto it? Do you use any social media or anything like that?
Yes, there is a MadmanManson.com, from which I sell lots of shoddy merchandise. There's also Madman Manson on Facebook, who just generally talks rubbish about the world. But no, that's about it. When it comes to Twitter, I don't really feel like knowing the minutiae of people's life, like just got a cup of tea, lol, that sort of thing. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. I'm 30 years of age. I don't need that in my life. Also, I don't like tea. So it's a double-edged sword. Right
it is, yeah. I mean, why would you lie to your adoring public?
Exactly. Why would anyone lie to their adoring public? Why would anyone have adoring public in the first place?
I'd like adoring public. I'd enjoy that.
There's some around here if you want to. I could have sworn I saw someone outside my window earlier looking for someone to adore. If I can call him back, I'll get his number for you.
Yeah, if you could, please. Yeah.
No problems at all.
Oh my life. So how long have you been wrestling for then?
I have been wrestling for 8 years.
Wow.
8 years. 2004, I started over in Ireland.
And what was the decision to get into wrestling? What was the point of, do you know what, I'm going to go and be a wrestler?
Well, I think my story would differ from everyone else's in that I was never a fan of wrestling as a form of entertainment. And I still am not. I don't find wrestling as a particularly good form of entertainment. But a friend of mine called Seb, two of us are best mates from school, he got an email about a wrestling school that was starting up in Dublin, and he wanted to go to it just to check it out, because he was a bit of a fan of wrestling. You know, he wasn't any kind of massive fan, but, you know, he knew who Hulk Hogan was, and that was better than me. So he said, let's go down to this. He didn't want to go on his own, so I said I'd accompany him. Down we went, watched a bit of training. At the time, it was in a place called The Lockup, which is Irish Rip Wrestling site. And I remember the first day was the first day for quite a few talented guys like Vic Viper, Red Vinny, Sheamus. And I remember seeing, a couple of weeks into training, a guy called Red Vinny, who was a cruiserweight, doing a body slam on Sheamus, who, as you know, was a very large gentleman. And I remember thinking to myself, I'd love to learn the mechanics of how that works. Because to me, I was like, well, a small guy picking up a really big dude, that's interesting. I'd like to learn how it works. And that was all there was to it. I just became interested in knowing the actual mechanics, the physical mechanics of picking up someone. And that's how it went for me. That's how I got started.
And you've been doing it now for 8 years based on the fact that you really wanted to know how to pick someone up?
Yep, that's actually as quick as it gets. That's as good as it gets, because it started off, I was doing security at a couple of shows for Irish Whip, so I was just standing there taking tickets, that sort of thing. And then, obviously, part of wrestling is putting up and taking down the ring. Take note, people in wrestling. Part of wrestling is putting up and taking down the ring, not being in the job 6 months and thinking you're a superstar because you have 91 likes on Facebook. Grow up, do the ring until you're working for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
But as an aside, I started becoming a ringman for Irish Whip, because I thought to myself, there's money to be made here. I had a van, they needed a van, we did a deal, I became the ringman for Irish Whip. That's how it all started for me.
That's great. So how did you come over from